Yes, keep coming, asante sana, karibuni sana. Reboreta kwa Bwana Yesu. This song was done by Eunice and Jerry. And this is the trumpet of hope. Captain RTV. Yes, thank you very much, Eunice and Jerry, for such a beautiful song. That is a beautiful worship song. And we want to take this opportunity to welcome our viewers and our listeners who are tuned in on our app. And we want to say welcome and karibu. This is that very special day where we celebrate our heroes and heroines across the board. And we say that we need to celebrate those who have done very good things in our midst. And that is what we do every Wednesday. And tonight we are privileged to have one of the great Kenyans. His CV runs pages. We can write a book out of it. And so I'm not going to even try to read it because it is huge. It is huge. And I know we are going to have a beautiful moment. Hey, yesterday I didn't come to the studio. Guess what I was doing? I was banging the table. I was biting my finger. I was echoing the words of Joe Biden, the Democratic presidential candidate, in saying, hey, you better shut up. My goodness, that was serious. And that was not beautiful at all. And you know what, at the end of the day, you better get out there and vote. You better get out there and vote. The stakes are high. Your vote matters a lot because this country has what we call a rule of law. And so at the end of the day, if one of these candidates wins and is declared the winner, he will not have anything to do but to get out of office. It is important for you to vote. Your vote counts. Your vote counts. If you don't have a voter's card, or if you're not registered, or if maybe you got registered in another county or in another state and then you relocated, you better get that vote now. Make sure that you get that vote now because it is important. The other thing that we need to do is because we believe in a supernatural being, we believe in God. And so it is important for you to pray for this country. Pray for this country that is a superpower that is envied by many, that many countries look up on too. And so when we see these things, we say things are not good. So make sure that you pray, because at the end of the day, prayer works. So pray and act, and that will be good. Send all your children who are eligible to vote to get the voters card, or the voters to register as voters. Send them out, let them vote, and that is important. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate all the pillars of the Trumpet of Hope, this ministry whose mission is, one, to promote peace, cohesion, pass information, inform the people, and empower them, and promote what we call hope. Hope, nothing else. And that is important. So welcome, and thank you so much for being together with me. And tonight, Gerewainaina, we are having Professor Mutisya, a great Kenyan. There he is.
Yes, Captain.
Karibu sana, Professor.
Asante sana. I should have put my African cloth, but I'm recovering from anesthesia, so I'm ready. It's what we say, it's not what we wear.
You are good. It is what we say, not what we wear.
Yes, right. And what we do, action.
That is very good. Welcome. Nice to see you, Professor.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I've gone online and Googled everything about you, and I'm telling you, man, you are just a great Kenyan. So how is North Carolina?
Wonderful. Today is a wonderful day. I'm going to take a picture. You'll see technology is good. North Carolina weather is good. We it's getting cooler. My favorite weather, and it's nice. We had some rain. We had a storm last week, but it's passed by. So we are used to that. We're ready to go. Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I know today was maybe a rough day after after the procedure, but I thank God that you are strong. You're strong, and you look energetic.
Yes. 70. I just turned 70 the other day, on 22nd September. So, and my children had a great. Actually, I wish I had you. We could have put it in on the radio too, but we didn't have that. I did not know you by that time. It was broadcasted all over with the Zooms.
We have others coming.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations, 70, and still very strong.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's what I want to share with my audience, my fellow Kenyans and fellow Americans, because self-preservation is critical. And I like the way you opened with the vote. I vote with all my kids and my grandfather. Their grandfather, 18th of October, we are going to vote. And this is time we don't even talk about it. We just do. And it's very critical. Whether if you're eligible to vote, this is a critical time in the history of this country. If we want to change, this is critical time, and your vote will change our future for our generation to come in this country and the world, because everybody in the world looks for this country. And after what you saw last night in the debate, we got to make a difference. Vote. Vote.
Very important.
If you are eligible, there's reason why you got citizenship. That's the power you have. You do not have, and failure to go to vote because you don't see that's a self-abuse and a self-neglect, and it's almost immoral not to go do your duty for the future of the children.
How serious is this election 2003 November?
It is so serious because this country has lost the power it had. And it's so serious if we do not help this country to claim the power it has to impact the continent of Africa. We're in trouble because Asia and Europe, they exhausted. So the only hope we have is here. And the diaspora is critical because we have a mass of people who can impact the retention of the power in the global economy. It's very critical for the history of the world because today, if this country is not peaceful, the rest of the world is not peaceful, and so is continent of Africa. So it's because what we have seen in the last 4 years, if we don't make changes, 4 more years, you'll be packing, going back to where you came from, whether you are legal or illegal. That's how serious it is. And also destroying the world economy, which is our position to give back, because Africa has built the West and East for the last 100 years plus. Now it's time to give back. So please, your vote counts, and it will also change the trajectory of this leadership in this country, because it's going to empower the citizenship. Citizenship is very critical, is a big value, and we cannot take that for granted.
Thank you so much. Tell us about your take after yesterday's debate.
It shows that we don't have leadership. Period. If you can fabricate lies and make it truth, and then convince people and people follow you, that's dangerous. We have seen it. We use technology for that, and make up things and then portray the truth because we are not connected at the grassroots. If you don't make a conscious choice, you vote your consciousness. You don't vote for the person. You vote for who you want to change for the better of this world and better of your country and the better of your identity, your economic power is in the hands of the leadership of this country. And how you participate, how you act by casting a vote, the person you vote, and then don't just vote. You follow through with whoever you voted for, and you don't have to lobby. Just tell them directly, I voted for you, and that is for you to deliver. If you don't deliver, remove them. That's the power of democracy and the rights to vote. People have died, billions and billions of people, to have freedom to choose leadership. Because when you vote, you're voting for who represents you, not just the people looking good. No, it was last night. It was very pitiful. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. And as an educator and a professor of education, I was embarrassed because we thought we are responsible for teaching these so-called leaders, and then we're supposed to teach them how to represent ourselves, represent us. And that was just like actually middle school kids can have a better debate than that. It was straight bullying, and it did not help us. It's embarrassing. I was watching the TV in Kenya and it's exactly KTN when they're reviewing that. Oh, good Lord. I was embarrassed. I will not be proud to be coming from this. I'm an American citizen, and I have a right to speak, and I have a right to, but I don't have the right to be so ugly and so lying to people, and that's immoral. And people are dependent on our leadership to help them become who they want to be, and it helps the economy. It helps to really be productive citizen. Without productive citizens, you have no country. You have no governance. You don't have government. Economic things. There's so much illness, mental illness, because of lack of leadership. That's how critical this is. And I'm not talking about minority. I'm talking about majority. Depression is in every home. Black, white, Asian, whatever, African. But neglect to see how you need to be active civically. Civic engagement means you are activating and practicing your citizenry. And that's your right. Whatever. And now this is crucial because when the American coughs, other people get amnesia. And that's how now it's coughing, and the other. I saw a parallel with the Kenyan government too. Parliament, they're just acting the same way because they even quote what or Obama this or Trump this, and being copycats. We're supposed to be beyond that to
Sure.
show them the original sense of what leadership is and what's our identity is in the world. We are the majority in the world, but we're acting like minority by not participating. And it's really it disturbs me to be I no, I have not seen anybody who can make a rational explanation. So, for, there is no, and they even talking about eliminating a debate and all that. I'd rather not see them. Just they keep it to themselves.
Thank you so much. I know a lot have changed over the years since the time that you came here to where we are now.
Yes.
Can you conceptualize that? Give us maybe a background of how things were then and how things are now in terms of socialization, in terms of education, in terms of opportunities. What has changed?
Well, let's me begin from where I came from, and that will give a good perspective, because if you don't tell your story, you put in a narrative which is logical and show how it made who you are. It's usually talk. I started from I was born in Kambani, which is called the sublocation like called Molani, Kalama location. Those were the colonial demarcations of when we had a location. Now we have counties, which is Machakos County. But I went to school, but the first day I went to school was when I was 12 years old, and at 62. And they went and skipped two grades in 2 weeks because my brother taught me how to read and write. Well, I'm herding cows and goats. At 12. At 12, I had already learned how to farm, calluses. You young people today, you don't know about that. Because no one was working. My father had stopped working. He used to work, good carpenter and a builder. But we didn't have school fees, and you had to pay. So I skipped 2 grades because I was able to read and write. And then I skipped a year of, I just finished the 3rd grade to 12th grade completely. Then I left primary school from moving here and there, trying to find a place to go to live. It was those days were the Kenyatta's days, which was great time. Kenyatta, when he was conscious, and he had our country, Harambee spirits, the self-help growth. It was great. Even at 12 years old, I knew because we got acquired independence at the same time I went first grade, and I remember the fires burning because people were every Kenyatta speaks. Everybody sat and listened. Leadership. It was leadership. But it became senile eventually. I went to primary school in Yatta after going through all. But high school, I went to Afafa Jericho Secondary School, from country to the city, which was challenging because imagine in the city people those days, being in city. It was a big thing. And the government, its education was not for indigenous people, was not for the community. It was, you want to be like Kaburu, Mzungu, Kizungu. Tunasema tunataka kuishi kama Kizungu. We want to lead, even my brother says, I'm Black Britain and Bulun's you. And I said, when I got out of the country, went to the city, it started to open up when I started interacting with the other kids from other ethnic groups. Then I realized, and I found out there was other people in Kenya. There was plenty of people, but we never were taught about who we are. That's the number one.
Okay.
And then it shifted later on, because we were copying the Western education, so Western thoughts, and first educators, they did not focus on building ideology and education and the retention of culture. And so it became this kind of politics of copycats, which is not really politics. Politics is nothing wrong with it, but nothing wrong with the politics if it's done right. But if it's just masquerading like politics and the individual interest and self-interest, it's not politics. It's not leadership. So I was able to finish high school, Fafa Jericho 74, and I went to teach Arambe Secondary School back in Yatta for 1 year to pioneer the new school with nothing, being paid by just teaching. I was staying home. They didn't pay me at all, a whole year. And then I graduated the first from 1 to Form 2, and those kids graduated and went to high school. I'm gonna go find them now. Now I hear it's a full secondary school. I can't wait to go back. To fast forward, I worked with Peace Corps volunteers and get exposed to education. Was stuff for people like us with ABC average. No, the University of Nairobi was the main one, in Kenyatta University, and you have only 2,000 spaces competing. So even if you had an A and you qualified to go, the kids over Bwana Wakubwa, the people, the chiefs, the leaders took first, whether they had the A or not. So I didn't have any choice, and even aspiration of going to college. Fast forward quickly, and now because we got a lot of ground to cover here, I was able to join Peace Corps volunteers after teaching the class and graduated. I had to go. I had to get away from country again to go to the city again to start training Peace Corps volunteers. And it's the 78 is when I came across the National Outdoor Leadership School director of, which was Narumoro School, Nairobi Mountaineering School, and that was my savior. That was my salvation. Got me out of Peace Corps program whereby we were doing well, but drinking every day, teaching 2 hours and a half, and the rest is party, and no money saving. So they gave me a scholarship to go in the Mount Kenya's training for 3 weeks. I never looked back again. And then after working with the Knowles, I was teaching them Swahili. I always taught what I know. I never had to create something. So they sponsored me as their first certified instructor to exchange from Kenya to Wyoming. What land of Wyoming? I'm telling you, this is not like America. I will share with you a picture. So when they put me in the newspaper, an African adjust to the wild west, and I'm going to get that article and send it to you when they get it. I'm going to dig it up. So that is where it opened my eyes, and then I was 14 months in the mountains, doing nothing but educating these kids from Manhattan, from city slickers, and making them men and women. And then I was able to go. I got certified and went back to Kenya. Taught for 3 years. 1980, 79, 80, I went to Kenya, back to Kenya, Narumoro. But then I got tired of him backpacking the mountain. I get old. But if I went back to Pisco again, because that was cash money, quick. But I was able to get a scholarship to go to graduate school. I skipped undergraduate degree because I had all this experience. They gave me credit. I went to study master's degree in the Center for International Education. That's another bridge, which is why we should seek bridges as we go. And that I finished my master's in 1 year, then I started my doctorate in education. Same at UMass, University. UMass is the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. That's where Uhuru was finishing his undergraduate degree at Amherst College. We had a great African Student Association. He was part of it. the kids from all the leaders from Canada, Europe, they were jetting in for Budweiser and Chama every Saturday. I had a nice place because I was working in student affairs. They just brought the food, we cooked and enjoyed. That was the best time, which changed my life. I finished my doctorate while commuting. After moving to North Carolina, I got married in 87. 89 is when I finished my doctorate. And I started teaching here in North Carolina State University and working with student affairs. And after 6 years there, started Fayetteville State University, whereby actually that's where I can say I honed my tools as a professor. And moved to 201. I went to North Carolina Central University, where I am now. But how was the education? People revered people like Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Willis Onyinkas. We read their literature, but today, I don't see that. Oh, actually, you find it here. Even Swahili being taught in other ethnic groups, languages, we ignored that. Yeah. So that created a tribalistic way of ethnic base, but the problem is became leadership goes along. Whoever is in power, the majority in power, the ethnic, they became nepotism. Nepotism became the mainstay. But we eroded the country with the wealth, selling ourselves to the West. Even remember, up to this day, we're still paying for the settlers for the land they left to us. Now that land is being stolen from the people, what we call indigenous land, which is your identity. It's just we're in big trouble, and so that's what pushed me to focus on research on and study on culture and identity. And that means looking at conflict and the peace, and whatever I teach, I raise literacy, cultural literacy. And that because linguistics, I got a good Swahili teaching by Mr. Morioki in my high school in Ofafa. He had a Meru accent, but he taught us really good grammar. So
Swahili.
Yes, Swahili. And then now I started understanding who we are. And once who we are, I started understanding that we have to have an effective way of communication and leadership. Leadership is lacking worldwide because it's broken. The education is just people put together stuff, but there's no framework. There's no theoretical approach and a practical approach to how to contextualize it. We just copy what is being done here, and instead of understanding the new ways of thinking and then contextualizing and transforming the people, we still presented this like the imported is good.
Sure.
But what's not imported, what you create is meaningless. So impunity has become worse, and we impugn ourselves as well as impugn each other. And instead of elevating leaders, Kenyatta, you could not even say he was sick because you'd be sent to jail because how we revered him. We elevated him. We voted him to be president for life. Of course, we knew he's not going to last long. So, lifetime king. But they are trying now to do that. You cannot do that. He earned that because he touched every child. I knew every minister. I knew every cabinet minister. I knew all the ministries when I was in the fourth grade. Civic education is out of the window. Grammar, out of the window. Linguistics, out of the window. So to find who we are, we just react to who we are. We don't really affirm each other. Then we find that the media came in. And since we are not part of the media, it's something foreign to us. We use it because it uses us and the focus on what is controversial.
Sure.
And this, so education has followed the same way. So immigration here, of course, when I was able, 87, got married, and first child was I get my first daughter, who's a lawyer now, accomplished lawyer. She is now. She was born in '89, and my second born was what's your 2000? It was 2000. No, 1989. And 2 years later, 2000, was it? What was I cannot remember. The days are long. But then the other one came about following, and then we adopted another one. Now I have 4, all educated. This year I celebrate because it's the first time I don't have to take some to school or give something to out of pocket. And
awesome.
Yeah, and then what I've seen
story.
Here is that. Here is now immigration here. As immigrant, I've seen that we come here and they live in isolation. We do not engage in civic engagement. So when you talk about voting, voting itself is not enough. You have to engage community level. Obama won landslide because he engaged people, and we dropped the ball when he left. So immigration laws also, even if you came here illegally, there's a process to become legal. You don't have to stay illegal forever.
Yes.
So when you talk about leadership, has shifted, has changed to very superficial and without consciousness, without the trust, without moral ethics, and that's which is needed today all over the world. And the pandemic has revealed that.
Thank you so much, Professor Mutisya. For those who are coming in, we have Professor Mutisya, who is coming live from North Carolina, where he is a leader and a command in that region at the North Carolina Central University School of Education, Department of Cultural Curriculum and Instruction. And he has authored quite many books, and also the papers that he has written. By the way, I want to say, there we are. There we are. I was looking at a very critical one here, which deals with the Kenya education system. As we speak, our children, that is the one. I hope that I wish that Professor Magoha would take that book and put it in his system and ensure that the people who are in the leadership as far as education is concerned. I see my brother Alberto Nyakundi Amenya, the banana peddler. I want you to make sure that we get these people, because our students, our peoples are at home.
Yes.
They have not gone to school. The government promised some computers or some whatever. They have not given. Today he wakes up and says, we are opening school tomorrow. In the evening of the same day, he says, no. They push and they send teachers to school. We have, 844 system, 74, whatever system that is there right now.
Yes.
The children cannot be able to even speak or even tell of who their teachers are or who their leaders are. When we were going to school, the class 1, we had these languages. I did Gekoyo. And English and some mathematics, and we went like that. We had civic education.
Eight subjects, yes.
We had civic education. We learned who we are. Right now, why we cannot be able to do this is because of the system. So can you tell us, as a leader in education, tell us, I know somebody is watching this. I see Professor Gerono here. And I see my brother Alberto Nyakundi, who is a writer.
Yes.
Can you speak to them? Tell us, what is the missing link as far as education system and policy in Kenya is concerned?
Okay, and Gerono has a chapter here too. So that's that's my mentee. I mentored her since she was a associate professor to full professor. Now she even got a bigger position, like chair, department chair, which I have not gotten one. So that's how what education means to me. I mentor, and education in Kenya, they got great policies, excellent, excellent policies. But guess where they stay? On the shelves, not even in computerized, because we might be able to stumble and get them. They are in the files. When it comes to put people who can provide leadership and they communicate to the from K-12 to 20, is absent. Research is absent. When they get money to pay salaries. They don't get money the money. They just had it the other day in the reform movement, and they found that whenever you get donation or world, like for example, COVID money, where is it gone? Because it didn't go to the people. Same thing with education. It never gets to that child who need a tablet to be able to access the world internet, knowledge which is there. The laptops, they just wanted to give the tools. You don't do that. You create techniques, technology. To that end, we have already to skip a little bit because we don't need to hash the nasty negative. We want to point out what is now able to do after engaging. We have created with my former students. I coordinate education technology program, which the students learn how to create web design, the course design, instructional design, which is from my doctorate was in instructional leadership. So we did not call it technology, we call it materials and development, but now it's technology. So it's easier for me to flip to integration of technology using artificial intelligence. It's not artificial, it's not fake, it's art and visual. Artificial intelligence, meaning you creating thinking and animating it, and then you can communicate, right? Like when you record this, you can disseminate your broadcasting to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Why haven't we adapted teaching education? They created competence-based education, but they did not train teachers. So we have created what we call my EOD, my education on demand, as a solution today. We compared with what they have an Oxford standard program there. They only teach for testing. You don't teach for tests. Even in this country, we have research shows you don't teach you teach competencies and skills. So you don't control the student by testing them. You help them to learn to perform, create. So education on demand is a online virtual environment whereby the kids can access what they learn in the classroom 24/7. Teachers can do the same thing, interact virtually. Do you know we presented it to the almost 300 people in the world through Global Peace Foundation Forum, whereby they're supposed to be transforming education, we're to teaching moral development, leadership, but the people who control teaching, teacher and the people, the leaders, administrators, they do not really know what they can do because they depend on the government. Now, we have the whole chunk of the country who are private, no control of government, but they think the same way like the government. Where they don't know how to exercise, even to an extent that the Constitution, when it was created, it should have been taught from college to primary school to kindergarten. Anything happened? No. They're just politicians and media. I don't blame media. Media just they eat what they see. That's their prey, because they don't see the positive. So change has to come from us, and consciousness in terms of education, reflective thinking, and teaching a child to feed themselves. In Africa, here, a child can die if you left them out there in the street. In Kenya, you can't, because they either stumble to a fruit in someone's shamba, When even all they need to do is ask, can I have? I'm hungry. I grew up the same way. When we didn't have anything in my farm, we went to the neighbor and we asked. We asked. We did not go steal. Okay, so you cannot starve because every day you can put a seed on the ground, every kind of seed, and harvest every 4 weeks. Different. That teaching has not got into them. So we are proposing my EOD. We created leap hubs whereby we can train teachers how to teach kids blended way, face to face and online. Right now, we can put all schools in Kenya in my EOD, but no one has stopped them to say, well, how do we do that? We presented to them. I'm working now. I started to go directly, and this other thing is a good example. Again, we have created here since I've been here. We have always looked to something I can galvanize. We can come together and leverage our talents. We have a lot of talented people here.
Sure.
Our talents are wasted. You are doing your teaching or working where you're not appreciated. Okay, this system you control it. I hope.
Yes.
Nobody tells you what to do, but you can focus on improving. So we created Diaspora University Town, Taveta, and we created a process whereby we're going to do that. We're going to leverage all talents and it's going to be up in next year. We're going to open up in next year with the hospital and the town development in the university and the hospital and the university. At the same time, we created microfinance bank, which it was unheard of a year ago, because people coming together using the power, leveraging our dollars here, and investing home, but not giving. No, we don't give. We are going to show everybody how to create, to fish, not to give fish. And awesome. We are partnered with the Worcester Polytechnic Institute, WPI. They already agreed. MOU is there. We're going to work within the next 5 years. DUT is going to be realized. That tighter together. Then we'll go another one with we are planning to create a big one in health in Machakos or Makueni. Then also Margaret, which is a global research center, when we have a triangle research center here. Already in place. Actually, they registered it last week in Kenya. So you have to leverage what we have here. You could be delivering this as a discussion whereby students in Kenya, in universities, they can tune in and learn from. The education is now seamless, but they are at home. That's what this is hurting me. I knowing how to get a good education, you cannot sit and wait for it to come or for other people to bring it to you. You have to participate. It's come from the old school, the participatory education. So yes, now the government has challenged, and the money will come if you educate the child to put the money on the table and to pay taxes. Right now, it's not happening.
I hope that the people who are in decision-making bodies, the leaders in the education sector, the education committee in parliament, we need to take action and do something, because our children
and partner with us here. We already have infrastructure now. Kenya National Council of Elders in Diaspora. We already have goals to partner with the technocrats and the private sector, not the government. Politicians, sorry, I'm not with you. Uhuru, my buddy, we went to school together. I don't believe this. You cannot expect government to do what they're supposed to do. So leveraging diaspora, we need to partner and collaborate. That's the 21st century to 22nd century. And they're using artificial intelligence, which is your thinking. Artificial is not art, and artificial thinking. And then help the people to transform their own lives and empower themselves through education. And there's no other way around. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now, I was looking at, that is education, which is very important. Let us look at the issues of leadership and peace, because
Yes.
This is something that, according to your writings, is
Yes.
so much into your system.
Yes.
You are also a founding partner in the Global Peace Foundation that was instrumental in
Yes.
the issue of the handshake.
Yes. Yes.
And
Thank you.
tell us about that and
Yes.
whatever is happening right now
Mm-hmm.
in Kenya today. Is
Yes.
that what was in the picture of those who conceptualized the whole idea?
Yeah, it started in the 2007. And I did not even know Global Peace Foundation exists. But when you go online, against gpf.org, you can see it all over. You see Kenyatta, Uhuru, and the other Kagame, the Nigerian past presidents, this level global. But then we have Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. Those are the only members of the Global Peace Foundation. And the Global Peace Foundation was started by Preston Yoon Moon, who is the son of the former Moon of a Church of Unification Church, but he branched off and created non-sectarial organization called Global Peace Foundation in an effort to unify North and South Korea. They just had a forum today addressing they're working on trying to unify North and South Korea. And remember, South Korea, we once gave them a loan. Kenya gave them a loan. It was so poor, but now they can give us a whole lot of money now.
Mm-hmm.
But we have not again. We don't look the history. Anyway, Global Peace Foundation initiative is the peace capacity building. And they have 24 centers in the world. Just Google Global Peace Foundation, gpf.org, and you see it, where they are and what they have done. And that's another part of literacy, peace and capacity building, eliminating conflict. So the Uhuru, Odinga, and the other people, they came together, and the Kagame, and the last convention, the first one I attended was in Uganda, 2017. Gerono was there, with these other folks were there. I did not see professors in a university. The only community-based and a big government, big cheese and all that. But I came in Central, and I partnered with the Global Peace. We are the only university. North Carolina Central University is the only university which is part of a member. Partners with a partner with the Global Peace, and I created that because with my leader there, my mentor, and that's a good way to look at mentorship in the peace capacity building. You have to align with people of the like mind, and try to minimize conflict in the world, starting with self, and then community, and then in national and in global, and not the other way around. Globalization is not local. It should happen in local level. So if you do nothing level and you're going out there talking about, like professors do, they do conferences and they present, but they never come and they present at home to try to use the talents they're using. So we are a Global Peace. We are engaging. That's why we created a mentoring program with this NCCU, North Carolina Central University, partnering with the Global Peace Center in Kenya under directorship of Daniel Juma Omondi, and we are creating what we call LEAP hubs. Actually, we are now venturing with the university, because Kenya education system does not. Higher education is disconnected, even sometimes primary and secondary. So they're working like separate and competing entities. They're supposed to be one. The partnership should come from kindergarten, elementary, middle, secondary to college. And even we can cut down, like we have a program here, which is a college high school. You cut 4 years of high school and the 4 years of college to eliminate 4 years. Because kids stay in school for doing nothing, get out a piece of paper. And they say that's what you see in the news, because they don't take competence and skill. They don't get work. I remember when I was coming up, people were saying you go to school to go get work. Today, that's another idea. You go to school to create jobs,
Awesome.
to create what you eat, to create what you live, shape the environment, save the environment, have a relationship with the intact identity and culture is our wealth. There's no other. But other things is just thoughts. So yes, Global Peace Foundation, we are working on, and that handshake, people, I wish they can just say where it came from. People can understand because it's like a mystery. They all of a sudden, they sat down, people like Kagame. Remember, the Rwanda is only where reconciliation has been perfected. And you see the results. South Korea is trying to use the same model. That's why they included us in the Global Peace Foundation. And the foundation means they work together. There are 24 centers in the world, whereby each country does their own way of doing, like Kenya. And it started with the 207 and 209 is when it was kicked off in Kenya. They ties with these prayers, breakfast or so. And then we see that that is not known in academics. Even in church, most churches don't even talk about it. So it focuses on faith-based, as literacy on how to better ourselves, and also education and leadership, moral leadership, which kind of hygienize the politicians. They're supposed to. That's why you see the agreement of Odinga and of Uhuru all of a sudden did not happen overnight. And if they want to tell the story, and if you want to put a legacy, dialogue of peace, dialogues ends with the learning. And the end of learning is peace. Okay? End of learning is peace. And when you say you have peace of mind, you need to understand that nobody can give you peace. You got to earn it. You got to act on it. So by being aware, being conscious, not just reading or listening to some debates and then go make a decision. No, it's a change within your consciousness. And it's part of my DNA. People say, Mutisya, do you ever get angry with me? Why should I get angry with you? And you're my human being. I truly believe in Ubuntu. You are, therefore I am. And since I am, therefore we are. Not because I think, therefore I am, which is the European sense. And if you look at the Europeans are starting to beg us, they are begging us to humanize who they are. Caucasians, Semites, Nilotes, and Negroids, people, and Nilotes who went to the east and all the way to the west, and they denied who they are. Now they're coming in the name of Jewish Orthodox, and it's divided. They forgot it's a culture turned into religion, but then some to an extent a cult to self-hatred. So African identity is now crucial, and it is only now realized through the diaspora sphere or window. If you think about it, we have built the world, but we don't believe it because we either were taken as slaves or we immigrated here and worked like slaves, but we do not acknowledge, command nothing. So it's time now to seize the coming together as leaders of diaspora and put our egos aside and our selfishness, which and also there's what aspect of internalized oppression. That's why you see it trickle down to wife abuse, kids abuse. I saw people bragging about broadcasting how many thousands of kids got pregnant during COVID.
Yes.
Bragging about that. And there's nobody saying nothing. Now, this hurts because I have children. I have told my children, don't rush to getting babies because I'm not going to get you. If you bring babies, be responsible like I have. I did not have a child out of wedlock because when I was not ready, I had them when I was ready. And married from here too, which is another cross-cultural issue. And I was able to, these black people are black people everywhere in the world. But this thing about I'm Mugikuyu, Mugamba, and then I only work or go to church with the only my kind, that's what we lose. And you lose the social capital, which you have naturally. Not average Joe Blow who migrated from Kenya to here or to Europe to other. That was the best of the best.
Good.
Look at you.
Let me come here. Let me bring narrow that to
Yes.
what is happening right now. And
Yes.
I know that you have been very instrumental in KESA and the other organizations like the Elders Council.
Yeah.
You'll tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
But when I look at what is happening in the in the Kenyans who are in the diaspora,
Yes.
and the
Yes.
groups that we come up with, those WhatsApp groups, and we start discussing the Kenyan politics right now, we narrow our thinking into tribes.
Yes.
And the political parties.
Yes.
And who is doing what. Right
Exactly.
now, we may not see the bigger picture of the handshake. We may not see the bigger picture of what Ruto is doing.
Yeah.
We may not be. We are not seeing that. We
No.
are just seeing people who are fighting for political mileage.
Right. Right.
What is your message to the Kenyans who migrated from Kenya to the diaspora and are now engaging on WhatsApp and spreading a lot of a lot of hate?
It's what we have created. For one, we had to have a product or outcome concrete, which showed we're not just talking. Once we created the diaspora university, people were just listening, and then they were, a lot of them, they were being really messed up by people like FAP, the fake banks, and the people lost a lot. They lost trust. Okay, so I looked at what is it that can unite us together. It's only to look at the leaders, not just anybody who want to be in a picture and have this good dialogue and have an organization focusing on bringing us together and leveraging our social capital, talent, and then reinvest, not to give back, to invest back. I'm not giving money in DOT for free, no. I'm putting my money there to make money to my grandchildren can benefit and create institutions. Financial institutions, environmental sustainability, and leaders who are gonna don't sit when I'm 90, because I know I'm gonna live long after today's checkup. I started to communicate with the people who I know. They have the same like mind. They are like Jerome, all the professors, even others, and Chris Kimaro, and Movember, even in faith-based, and there are all many over 20 of us so far, solid. So we locked that down. We created Kenya National Council of Elders in diaspora as professional organization, whereby member paying, not social media based, whereby you are committed. So we brought talent. So we examined how, when you come on the table, we created the bylaws, a constitution, and registered with the organization, which was registered with a different focus of giving back to elders in Kenya. No, this one is creating. You're here. I'm an American for now until I get my passport back. So, but I can now use diaspora identity to invest back and work in Kenya as well as working here, because you will never do one way, one place. No, it has to be reciprocal. You created funds here, you pay taxes here, engage in civic, you get the grants, you focus on a project there. Project employees we're going to employ over 5,000 people in the next 2 years with diaspora. The other then then that's why we were council elders. KDA, I talked to Barasa and said, no, we need to do the same thing. Don't be just coming in WhatsApp talking. No, we need to have objectives, a serious, actionable, transformational investment type of activities. And that's what we put time. Time is important. We're not getting old. I don't want to be like Gogi was young and I will listen Mingo say, we never did anything. I want to see bringing back what I brought here and it's better. That's the idea. But are you going to be able to get resistance challenges at home? Yes, but it's how you communicate. I've never yet gotten any resistance because we talk about what do you bring on the table? What's your stake? And how do we put together and synergize and transfer and invest in our children? And the Kenyans at home, those who are serious, engaged, and even started working with the professors, I found they were very pessimistic. Kenyatta University, I used to go training 3 times in 2005 and 2009, but they thought we are going to take their jobs. No. I'm showing you how to work in Kenya and over here as well, and to make better wage over there too, not to depend on government. But I remember full professors there telling me, well, Mutisya, I'm about 3 years before I retire. You are telling me to jeopardize that. And when you look at what their retirement pension is, it's nothing. Not even a wage for 1 month here for a person, a retirement. So I had to help him, and I have to also lift up my former heroes, who's my talk about people put you hope in him. Dr. Henry Ayot. He was my high school principal in Fafa, who made me a leader in the school. I was prefect, and then he was leader in Kenyatta University. He created all parastatal, what do you call that? The different programs, internationalization, and I was training with the faculty with him. He told them, "Look, guys, we need to shift our thinking." This boy was my prefix, and now he's teaching me. So he gave me hope. And I did not feel, and that now we are working with the 4 universities, Daystar, Machakos University, Multimedia, and Kenyatta, and the Nairobi University. But I started work with the professors. But you can see the difficulty for them to know, yes, we can develop programs which are revenue producing, not waiting for that little bursary, for that little stipend they get from a government. And if you write a grant, you're lucky. And to show them, and you can see, we took 2 weeks. Geronimo was part of that. And you can see how they're really deans and professors, but they don't, because they focus on local, the government, what gives them. We have to step out of that. Media need to partner. Your media and this, we can use this as actually education media for classroom, right? Every day. And they can access in whatever they are in Mashinani, right there. And they can almost, you can still make money. And they can make money. They can also learn, because they should not be sitting at home doing nothing. And that's my effort of bringing people together. Those who want just the name, I tell them sorry. And people wonder whether I can ever disagree with anybody or limit, separate someone. No, if you're not focus on what you need to do, I don't want to partner with you, because partnership and collaboration is the synergy mecca. And literacy, it's all in all areas. It's critical in the 21st century. Now we are shifting to artificial intelligence, whereby you have it. You just need to, we use only 5% or 10% of your capacity, those who are called genius, but 90% you have not even touched. Because you can turn this, you can be talking to the whole world right now. But it's the people way ability to connect. So I'm asking, the Shiuri has started Well, this is the place whereby we share the ideas, not just talk about things. When
Awesome.
you
Thank
come
you.
here, show the evidence of something which I can invest in. I'll
Sure.
create. The last thing I want to say about is we have created a diaspora outreach developments foundation, DODF Incorporated, to raise funds to fund program like yours. As long as it's enhancing, investing back home and in the education and economy, we'll ask you how much you need, and we use you too to contribute to the pot, so you can use it. That's social capital, and every leader can donate something. Then we can change education as they were, because right now there is no reason why a child in Makueni or Kericho or Kisumu or Turkana cannot access this conversation. There's nothing in a way. But people think, oh, we don't have a computer. We don't have no, that's not true, because you're not looking for empowering that child to create wealth and not to make them rich.
This is very interesting. I know it is not for everybody. This is very deep.
That's what they say.
This is a deep stuff. And when it is a deep stuff, they're very serious, and those who want to launch deeper will benefit and go home with something.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I see, let me see here. I want to appreciate the people who are with us and the people who have been listening to this program. Triumph the Terry, thank you so much. Susie Ben, Professor Gerono, asante sana. And she really appreciates you and says thank you very much to my mentor. And that is very good. Thank you, Captain, for hosting my brother and my colleague and my mentor. And then there is a very special person who is also a head of a department down in Oklahoma. I think so, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me not be quoted that way. Jen Irongo.
Oh, Irongo, okay.
Jenny Rongo, and she is very, very good and also a pillar of the Trumpet of Hope. Jenny Rongo says the government has to align policy with the practices and make sure post-graduation placements are available. That is very important. And up there, she had said about decolonizing the education system.
The mind.
Thank you so much. One boy Fred, good morning. Thank you so much. And then Alberto Asante Sana, Lawrence Ngoge, Ngeshi Rachel, an investor down in Seattle, Washington, doing great business down in Kenya and investing and, just very important. Thank you. Jen Mushene, Asante Sana, down in Massachusetts. Beatrice Karanja in Massachusetts. Gary Wainaina. Another great Kenyan down in Seattle, Washington. Maggie Waruri pastor. Maggie Waruri is one of the elders in the Kenya National Council of Elders. And she says, Salimia Professor, and she is very excited listening to you. Veronica Ndongo, asante sana. Josephine Wanjiro, I hope you're doing good. Monica Bukinya from Denver, Colorado. Betha Wairimov, thank you so much. In Seattle, Washington. Winnie Price, tuned from Birmingham, Alabama. Captain, we love you. Globally, nakujua miaka mingi KBC time, endelea with the good job. We are here to support you. And I want to underline that and say hello to every guy, every person in Alabama, Salimia, my sisters and my brothers down there. Penny Pesh in Bakersfield in California. I hope you're doing good together with my boy, Salimia sana. Junior Lucas is in Germany, serving the military and working very hard for the American people and earning and and also taking a lot of time even to listen to this broadcast. Junior Lucas, I love you, and I know that we are having the morning period for our auntie back home, Paul Sana. We are very much together, Junior Lucas. You are such a great brother. Now, as we get to a moment here, I don't know whether you have to comment something about what Jenny Rongo said, decolonizing the education system.
Yes.
Remember, we are celebrating our one voice and the heroes of the Kenyan diaspora. If you're there and you have somebody like this, 70 years, who would imagine?
Yes.
70 years in this world. Today he went through a procedure and he is seated there in North Carolina.
Right.
My goodness.
Yes.
Powerful.
And I want to tell you one thing what I want everybody to take away with. Before I go that in decolonizing the mind, I want to say that I'm also one of the people who authored twice published article by the Journal of Black Studies and the Handbook of Black Studies on Afrocentricity, Africanizing the curriculum and the mindset. It was correlates of Afrocentricity. We did a research from Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Malawi, and in the West, Sierra Leone, Cameroon. We found that the more we are educated, the more we are alienated from our traditional ethos and the ethics and culture. We adopt Westernization, and Westernization, Eurocentricity, is the antithesis of Afrocentricity, of Afrocentric thinking. And it's not Afrocentrism, it's Africanicity. It's not the same as Africanism. That's it. That's again, it's antithesis of what we suppose. Racism it's bad, but racist is someone who promotes that idea of alienating everybody. Now, Africanists and Kenyanists as a Kesa philosophy is to decolonize our minds, but we cannot decolonize the mind while we are going in bed with the thoughts of the colonial mindset. So that's why we clean our hygiene in education and identity and the consciousness. We have created a model which is called community model. Jerome and I contributed to the authorship of that. Community, universe, and diversity. Communiversity model, which embraces 7 principles: transparency, trust, responsibility, respect. Respect means look back, okay, to relook. Fairness means judgment, self-judgment, and against others, standards of others. You create your own standard. African-centered values. Caring. You cannot care for somebody if you don't trust yourself. You have to show now. You have to show transparently. You have to see it, touch it, smell it. And then they're going to say, oh, I respect you. For example, today I respect you because you got a concept from Kenya and you put it here and you made it simple that Kenyans, even the KTN and all that, they are not able to perfect like you are doing right now. And embracing the people to bring hope up. Respect the TRRFCC. They are the caring and then the citizenry, which is civic engagement. So terrific if you can TTRRFCC, and you can fill it up. And it is also looking at the people who are talented here, who have decolonized the thinking, like our esteemed scholar, researcher, Dr. Wilson Ndege, and Dan Kamau. And Ndege was a researcher with Harvard University for 15 years, and He realized how he was contributing to Europeanization of research. So he created what we call, now we have Daktari. Daktari is going to produce the first vaccine in a year from now, produced by African in Africa, in Kenya. It's registered in Kenya. It's part of a diaspora university. So you need to go to the website, dut.or.ke. You see it there, and you can invest in it. Your organization here can create, you have shares, which you invest and get money back when we start selling. It is also involves repurposing other medicines in Africa. They make it cheaper for Jerin, Mongelin, Kamau to be able to get to buy, afford it, saving lives. That's what we are bringing to Africa, and we are not importing here. No, it's what we are creating. Actually, these are Kenyan scientists who perfected. So it's not taking nothing from here to home. No, it is perfecting what the geniusness they were born with. That's the part of Africanization and decolonizing the mind. You have to, in education, you have to start valuing what you have, what the God created you to do. Even the way we talk about we are believers, and then you talk about this in the media, then when you close the door, you're the worst than anything else related to moral leadership. So contradictory. And there's a model with if you apply those 7 principles, you can come to understand, develop construct or ways to view the world, which will transform your thinking to a growth mindset as opposed to deductive mindset. Right now, what we do is we look at pathology and what is not there. And media, if you have a controversy, like last night, debate with and the president said that was the best review, that was the best. Now, we did not learn nothing. Actually, it hurt. People were crying. They were hurt. They were embarrassed.
Yeah.
But those are the people we revere. Same thing with the relationship. Even in a church, I see people being attracted to the thugs. I ask my students, why can a woman be attracted to a thug? A thug is someone who does not have values, but because they look good, they look, but they don't do. Then they end up being abused. So identity is a very important thing. And when you keep those pillars to filter everything you do, think, you're going to arrive to a transformed thinking and towards growth. And so, yes, those are the main things, the DUT, Daktari, and also with the Kenyan National Council of Elders and the KDA. You're a member, you already drank the Kool-Aid, you're part of it. We're going to move with you because we're going to use you to expose what we do. And I appreciate giving me the opportunity. Yes.
This is very deep. I want to appreciate you for coming here and also sharing a lot. I know we are way past the time.
Yes.
But there's somebody called Brenda Daylight Menete Musilika. Ooh. Hey.
Wow.
Now, she said only a COVID-19 change things. In Namibia, we are supposed to start learning Swahili next year, God willing. Now,
okay.
I'm not sure because we need people from outside to reach our children that beautiful, to teach our children that beautiful African language in our continent. This is Namibia. They were supposed to start teaching Swahili in their curriculum. And I hope that now that COVID is, we are kicking it out, I know they'll start opening. And maybe, Brenda, I wish I can connect with you and I can maybe connect with you with people who can come and teach Swahili. Yeah. And even they can teach Swahili like the way we are doing here. And it is possible.
You can put it in this program. The kids in Namibia can access it. I have a book on it too, and I used to train Peace Corps Swahili. So I've written a book. I've not published it. So that we can put it online, the virtual, digital Swahili program. There are plenty of them. It just they can actually connect with us, and we can help.
Thank you so much. Now, before you go, as an elder and as a professor and as a father, there are two things that are disturbing and bothering the Kenyans in the diaspora, and especially those who are senior. One is the future of the family backbone.
Yes.
There's a lot of domestic violence. There's a lot of abuse. That is one. Second issue which I want maybe you to mention as an elder and as a hero in the One
Yes.
Voice
Yes.
Kenyan Diaspora
Yes.
is the issue of mental health
Yes.
that has become too much.
Yes. Pandemic.
And the last thing that I would wish you to mention is to speak about the young men and women
Youth. Yeah.
who have relocated from Kenya recently, and they have come to America for different things. Others came with their parents. Others came to study. They came with their education visa. Others came to visit, but they remained here. But they are young as far as age is concerned. As a father, give some words of advice so that they can learn from you. You
Yes.
came and now you are heading, you're teaching in such a
Right.
huge university.
Yes. Keyword. And that's what we brought to the values at the Kenya National Council of Elders. And you mentioned Margaret Wairuri.
Yes.
Already, she holds a big part in that because she controls the youth area of our agenda. You cannot treat yourself, especially with social illness, which is mental health. It's created by alienation. The discrimination you face when you come to the airport, you come to school, you come to work. The Kenyans don't even look at you. There's no areas of collaboration. I have survived and been able to be a model in our community by my passion in connecting people. But that don't mean I neglect myself. No. People say you sacrifice. Servant leadership is not sacrificial. It's more serving people, connecting with who you connect to help. We should have a dialogue, ongoing dialogue. And COVID put in a way we would have started with a level of youth, engaging youth here and home, especially the children of immigrants like mine and yours. They suffer 3 times, quadruple. They suffer from being discriminated by their own because they are not we're not connecting. Then other African Americans discriminate against them too because they think they came here to take their space. Then whiteness. They have to deal with whiteness, which impacts all of us negatively. Now, that dialogue cannot happen in church only. Church have lost it too. But we need to have a concerted effort, have a program. Use your civic money, taxpayers, to organize programs in the community and bring families together. Bring the way we usually do at home should not change. Values don't change. How we do it may change. So to then address, it's good to have a counseling. You notice in the curriculum in African schools, we don't have psychology. There's a reason why psychology exists in this country. It is a way to heal that mind illness. If you are disconnected, you are alienated, you developmentally skip areas of development. I teach human growth and development and the introduction to psychology and the advanced psychology as well, education psychology. The way the mind works and then how you reason it, how you communicate, that's philosophical side. We stay in the philosophical, which is theoretical, but we don't deal with the psychological, which is practical, behavioral, physical change. Now, parents cannot control kids anymore. They even tell the kids that. Yeah. Come on now. If you feel that, then we are in trouble. So you bring family of the like mind, not who has money or who doesn't money, who don't, not those who go to your church. They are professional people can put together our Kenyan African centered therapy. Therapy is nice. It's okay. Counseling is nice. You're not crazy. You're not a lunatic. Okay. The other one is you said it was mental health, and then that also, by the way, creates jobs. When you create counseling and the teaching people how to the second question was on what was it? What was the second one? That was
the family,
yeah, the family,
domestic violence,
they don't addressing it's the same conflict of self alienation, because traditionally, even that, you notice how pandemic exposed that, and we talked about that in Kesa one time, when the daughters talking about their mothers and also sons talking about their fathers. Now that should not happen in only conference. It should happen in home, and the teaching community based. Then you have just have a community. You can start crowdfunding, whereby we like merry-go around and just contribute something to come together and eat, and then you talk about those things. Then kids are listening, and then you create the space for kids. Nowadays, social media is good, that where they feel safe. But believe me, they will. But we cannot just tell them all they hear is bad kids. We have no value. Parents are not lost control. No positive message. I don't talk anything negative about my children. And if there's something they're doing I don't agree with, I tell them, I tell them I'm going to tell the world, because values, they come from home. They don't come from street. How do you expect that Mzungu or Kenyan who did not grow where you grew up to teach your child values? They can come from home. Your community, where you are, is where your community is. But we tend to have lack of those 7 principles. If you look at those 7 principles and write a grant, and they call the community together, even put them in the media like this, have a keynote, and they go in the breakouts, and they discuss when COVID is gone. Even now, it's actually virtually they are more comfortable than when face to face. I found that. So use both methodology. So a community building is not by just policies or law. It's how you apply those values. The values shape the law. They bring community. It comes from home. Charity begins at home.
Awesome. This is good. The whole issue, or the whole essence of this program, is to celebrate these diaspora heroes, people who have lived in the diaspora, and they didn't just concentrate in their own family or their own private life.
Yes,
they went out and they spread the wings to the community. And I want to appreciate Dr. Robert Shiori for making this program success.
Yes.
And on behalf of the Trumpet of Hope Pillars and the viewers and the listeners, I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Dr. Professor Mutisya, for availing your time and such a wisdom. And just by listening to you at 70 and, speaking these minds and whatever you have done, it is very, very good.
Thank you.
We really appreciate.
Thank you.
If you were to talk to the president of Kenya right now, and especially because of what is happening in Kenya today, the issues of investment and the issues of leadership, the issues of leaving a legacy, the issues of corruption, the issues of nepotism that is everywhere. I don't know, what one word would you tell him, because this is important. I don't want to let you go without saying that.
Yeah, my buddy Uhuru, I would tell him, use the wisdom you have. I told him he was 19. Your father left you with a big. I didn't talk about other brothers. I say you. It's your name, Uhuru. You are our liberation. You named our. Now it's for you to perfect it by he has what it takes, leadership, and he is when you see when he acts, he does not talk from just from the mouth. Or he thinks about. He's a thinker, and he has what it takes. What we need to transform leadership and to get away from this ethnic negativism. And now, only thing I ask for Uhuru is make sure that the people you vet to put as technocrats, the CSS, the ministers, they need to be aligned with their talent, and they should show the talent up front before they start engaging, because because they do not know what they're doing. And the money is lost because they're trying to use someone else. Oh, I need to keep my seat here. It's a position. Use the same consciousness we discussed in the African Student Association when we were in UMass, Amherst, and lead. You have to coach. Leaders coach followers or coach leaders, and avoid the petty politics. These things about Tanga, Kieleweke, that's just a gimmick to distract. But the legacy you want to keep, he has 3 years to do this, and it can be done. But use your social capital. Use your political capital carefully, but invest in social capital, and help these people do what you say, because you say it's not about Uhuru. So if it's not about Uhuru, I need you to look at me like Biden looked at the people last night in the debate after being beat up and all that, and say, "You are the ones I'm here for, and show me and talk to that voice." Kenyatta used to look at people in the eye. I'm sorry, I never got that from Nyayo because I was not there, but I was there with Kenyatta. When you look at him, and he had a very like lion-looking eyes, vicious eyes. Even if people who come shaking the chikukus and all those ministers come and shake. But the problem we have come with the cabinet ministry is putting people there what they just because they have a name or they have a title. The other thing is university. He needs to use as a community, have a community, and exercise diversity in the universe is the limit. It's not the sky anymore. Engage universities to pay, to invest in the children they're teaching, to replenish. Don't just take, and there's nothing to produce. If you do that, transforming university level, it will transform all the way from the bottom. Just he has what it takes. In the country, people have given you mandate. Forget about this Jubilee mumbo jumbo. You need parties have no ideology. Focus on people's needs and not wants, needs, and the leadership. Provide leadership. And now you need to tap on our talents here, as opposed to looking at us as some people going to take people's jobs. No, we can leverage diaspora, and it can shape for the next 50 years in a big way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. That was awesome. And these will be available immediately for the people who want to download or to listen. It will be available for people to listen, and I hope that you have enjoyed too.
Oh yes, definitely. You made me actually. I was feeling terrible, but hey, you give me this is how I grow. Yeah, I got energized, and I'm gonna go lay down, drink some water, and then recover by tomorrow. Thank you so much, Captain.
Thank you.
And I appreciate this. Is that you are the trumpet of hope.
Yes, this is the trumpet.
And the trumpet is exactly what you've done, and I appreciate it. And we need to also not only talk about it, write about it, and share about it. You should feature next KESA conference. You should be number one there in the DJ this discussion, okay? and that becomes, you are part of an institution. You are a university by itself. So let's do it. And thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless those who. Gerono, my partners, Gerono is the vice chair of a council of elders, and we are also part of Global Peace Foundation. And I'm still teaching now to speak up on what he's a statue bigger than me and others, but she does not like to blow our own trumpet. I want to encourage Gerono and others to blow your trumpet, and this is good. I appreciate it. I cannot appreciate you more, and all the Kenyans, all leaders of all Kenyan Diaspora organization. Let's come together and not just go fight against each other. This country wants us to fight against each other and no synergy, and not using our tax dollars, which we work so hard for, and leverage that, and start taking care of ourselves and our youth. Thank you so much. And I appreciate this. It's an honor to have this. I couldn't turn it down. It was fantastic. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a very good night, and God bless.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll follow up later.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. That was such a great discussion and debate, if you want to call it that way. It is available on YouTube, and you can just go back there and learn a few things, as the professor has just shared. It is important for you to visit his site, and if you have any question, you can be able to send that question to me, and I'll be able to connect. I want to thank you